I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like how they got that.
I like the.
Ooh, and I like it. You send chills down my spine every time I take one look at you.
That's my cousin.
What?
The bar's my cousin.
Nigga.
Yeah.
What are you, DeLarge?
I'm the media.
No, that's gotta be on clip though. I just thought of that on the spot. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Good and Terrible Show. This is
Mickey.
I am
Travis.
And we are here for a real good episode today. We're gonna play a little game for y'all. This is called One Gotta Go. It's a fan favorite. I know y'all have seen it before. I post it on Facebook all the time. I know you've seen it YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. This is a very popular game. The basic rules are we're going to choose 4 separate entities in a category. Mm-hmm. And we got to sit here and vote on which one needs to be eliminated if we had to do it. Now, this is a tough question because all 4 things are normally things that we all love.
Right.
So it's not like there's going to be 3 amazing things or 2 amazing things and then 1 or 2 bad things. These are all 4 strong things, and we got to choose between which one, which makes the game hard. And we have no idea which either of our answers are yet, which makes it even better. So we're going to learn about each other.
You going to learn with us.
Same way you going to learn. So we're going to see what's real and what's not real.
I'm going to you for the real. What does that mean for me?
Because it's good and terrible. So we're going to get this thing cracking. Mickey, what are our choices today for One Gotta Go?
Today, it's the original Kings of Comedy. So we got to choose between Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, or D.L. Hughley. But one has to go.
One has to go.
So one of them and all their work.
And all their work.
Has to go.
And all their work.
And this is from, I guess, Kings of Comedy, the actual movie, and their separate stand-up.
This is the 4 comedians we take. So for those of y'all who don't know or unfamiliar with the original Kings of Comedy, this is a 90s kid's favorite here. Both of us are old enough to remember when it actually came out. But if for some reason you living under a rock and have not heard of the original Kings of Comedy,
go watch it.
It was a comedy tour back in the late 90s, early 2000s with the 4 of these amazing comedians, DL, Cedric, Steve, Bernie Mac, that they did a tour together. All of them had their own highlights in the 90s before that tour, and then afterwards as well. You've probably seen the Steve Harvey show. You've probably seen the Bernie Mac show. The Hughleys, a lot of them had TV shows
Cedric
and stuff
had
like
a show
that.
Too.
He did
a sketch comedy show.
He did have a sketch comedy show.
And he has a TV show now, currently. But he had... Mm-hmm. It's like a family show. Yeah.
I ain't seen one episode.
Say it's still getting them checks.
I bet he is, but the checks probably ain't the same as they was.
I don't know. He's on, I think, ABC.
His Netflix joint was kind of funny, though. He had a stand-up on Netflix.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
He's on ABC, so I'm pretty sure the check is nice.
I mean, that's what they got shows on ABC that nobody be watching.
But I feel like they still get a little... He's top bill.
He might got something.
He's getting more than me.
Oh, yeah.
You understand me?
I'm getting more than you.
Hey, we'll start the show right now. I'm top billing here, okay? You see the lights go out. Why'd it get dark? I shut this whole show down.
Will you? I don't think you will.
Where's the off switch?
She got some T-brain braids in her head and act like she doing something.
What?
Anyway, so we go get...
Oh, whose car is that?
Somebody's car alarm went off in the background.
It's not mine.
This is how you know this is a live show. That really just happened. We
don't know who that is. Somebody's car getting stolen right now.
Right now. Somebody breaking into that joint. All right, we're going to get this thing cracking, all right? So why don't you kick it off? Let's run through the choices again.
So Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, and Steve Harvey are 4 choices, and one of them and all their work has to skedaddle.
Skedaddle?
Skedaddle.
That's the word we choose.
And I think we should do it where we do our keeps, and then we do what has to go. You want to do it that way?
Yeah. So the first question would be, what's the first one that stays?
That stays.
We're gonna work backwards here. We're gonna do process of elimination.
Make it more interesting.
And we're gonna work our way backwards to eventually the one that we eliminate. So first we're gonna choose which one absolutely has to stay on the board for both of us. So why don't you go ahead and give your answer for that?
Mine would be Bernie Mac has to stay first. You had the Bernie Mac show. You had him on Def Comedy Jam. You had him in his own stand. Bernie Mac as a person and in movies as well too. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Players Club, another great, awesome cult classic, hood classic movie.
Absolutely.
Also in Friday, any movie he played in as far as a role, he shined in that role, even if it was a small part. Because even in Friday, his part was probably less than 2 or 3 scenes. He was sleeping with, he was a pastor in Friday, and he was sleeping with a married woman while her Miss Parker, while her husband was at work. And just in that small second, him on the screen, he just like caught your eye. So Bernie Mac definitely has to stay. He can't go anywhere.
Man, listen. Players Club was legendary.
It was.
Shout out to Lisa Ray.
It's going to be trouble.
Lisa Ray, like 55 years old, still could get it.
Lisa Ray's nothing to do with this conversation, but shout out to Lisa Ray.
Shout out to Lisa Ray. We need to pause for the cause real quick because...
You think she'll watch this?
Listen, somebody send this to Lisa Ray. Tell her I'm shooting my shot. In the post. I don't care.
You got to have her all white. She's not going to
At this point, she probably get AARP benefits, but she's still fine as a mother. I'll take her to an early bird dinner.
I think she is close to... Sure. You want to go to movies, baby? $6.99 for both of us.
You know she be getting them doorbuster morning sales at the store. She be right there when the store open, 8 a.m. Excuse me. She old as hell at this point. She like Angela Bassett fine though.
You would never know it.
She only got like 2 colors in the whole closet. All she wears is white and purple.
Mm-hmm. Black women age like fine wine.
Whew.
Fine
Black
wine.
don't crack.
I hope I age just like her.
She look better than girls our age. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But back to the game.
We got distracted.
Back to the game.
Shake it off.
I looked at the wrong hand too. You know what? I'm agree with you. The first one that got to stay for me got to be Bernie Mac.
The Mac.
I mean, just for Def Jam alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the movie roles.
The man came in with his name on his face on his pants.
He had his face. He had his face on the
custom paint. Nobody knew who he was. He was that confident in himself.
Let me tell you something. I ain't never had no pumpkin pie.
I ain't scared of you.
Man, he was funny as hell. And the Bernie Mac show, he was the last one of the 4, I think, to get a show or to be on a primetime show.
I believe so,
because Cedric was on, Steve Harvey show.
Mm-hmm. And that's right. I forgot to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. And when he finally got his own show, he made the most of that. The Bernie Mac show was hilarious, man. And just the way he was able to be relatable and just be real. I think that's the best part about Bernie. I feel like nothing was fake.
Yeah.
I feel like he always was his authentic self in anything that he did.
Yeah.
And I think honestly he's the funniest out of the 4 of them. So I think he's absolutely got to stay for me.
And R.I.P. to him. If you guys,
R.I.P.
the younger kids don't know, the younger audience, he passed away. I don't know how long it's been now. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
It's probably,
almost 10?
Yeah, going on a decade, I think.
Yeah. We're old.
We're
not old. We're seasoned.
Nah, I'm old.
Nah, I'm seasoned.
Nah, I got up from my desk.
I'm like a nice lemon pepper wing.
I got up from my desk at work to walk to the kitchen. I got lower back sprain, yo. That joint.
You heard that cat.
Some with the check engine light came on. I was not with that one.
The check engine.
Wait,
what's your dashboard? Like your iPhone?
Hey, don't worry about it. I got that Iron Man joint from Avengers. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
What happens in my spare time, it's not your concern, nigga.
So I'm gonna do my next stay. It's gonna be tough. Cause I haven't officially decided who I'm gonna get rid of. So working backwards is like.
These sound effects you got going on. Sound like you drinking McDonald's Sprite.
Steve Harvey would be my next stay. Steve Harvey had his own show, of course, which you just reminded me. Cedric Entertainer was on. Steve Harvey as a game show host is awesome. I actually love Steve Harvey's show. His inspirational feedback to the audience, his stories, his background. He said that I believe he was homeless for the first 2 or so years of his career, sleeping in his car, and he continued to stay with it. And then he hosted the Apollo for I can't remember how many years.
He did host the Apollo.
For a long time. Because I believe Sinbad was first, and then it was Steve Harvey was next.
First host of the Apollo?
Well, not first, but I believe he was after Sinbad. I believe I could be incorrect. But Steve Harvey hosted Apollo for a long time.
Had the meanest hairline, the meanest shape of anybody in history.
And people always make fun of his suits, but he was always clean, even though he had the
and owned his own suit line.
He did?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
The Steve Harvey suits. My man owns a whole clothing line out here.
I didn't know that. But Steve Harvey would definitely have to stay, and that's more so for me his current work as far as like. Well, I know his show now is off the air, but even his morning show as well too. I love hearing his feedback. And it's like that great uncle that you need that advice from. I feel like Steve.
And let's be real, he's probably the only reason why niggas watch Family Feud these days.
Oh yeah, because I would not watch if he and I don't sit and watch an episode, but I would probably not tune in unless because his mannerisms and his like reactions make the show even funnier. When people say stupid stuff, he's just like, really, you gonna yeah. So Steve has to stay.
Yeah. For me, the second one that got to stay is Cedric. Cedric the Entertainer. To me, I think he's probably one of the most underrated comedians of all time. For real, I really don't think to this day he even gets his just credit. I think he's just one of the funniest people in Hollywood for a strong 30 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? Any stand up you've ever seen, I don't think he's ever had a bad stand up. You know, he might have stand-ups that might not be his best, but he's never had a bad stand-up. And I think he's one of the only comedians I can say that I've watched that might be the case. I think every time he comes on stage, on TV, and stand-up, in a movie, he's going to be funny. You know, I don't know if you remember that movie, The Johnson Family Vacation.
Yes, of course.
That was a trash movie, by the way.
Yeah.
That movie was absolute
It wasn't trash.
But Cedric the Entertainer.
I don't think it was trash. It just
Cedric
was
funny in that movie.
Hey, Bow Wow held his own.
Bow Wow, okay.
And Solange, don't disrespect them.
No.
And Vanessa Williams.
No.
It was a top
Vanessa
cat.
Williams is great. Vanessa Williams is cool. She's a great actress. Like she's been a lot of. And that's it. We're not gonna talk about Bow Wow.
Don't talk about.
We're not bringing up Bow Wow in any complimentary way in this show.
I think he did a good job.
Did you? You thought?
Yeah,
That's what you get for thinking. I told you to stop thinking.
Oh, you heard that stuff.
Nah, but he definitely got to stay for me. And you know what? I think arguably he's the most talented of the four people. And what I mean by that is not only is he a good comedian, he can actually sing a little bit. I don't think people really.
I never heard him sing.
Cedric he actually can carry it too. I'm not saying he's a great singer. I'm not calling him Luther Vandross or nothing like that.
Why did I think Luther Vandross when you said great singer?
Because
the first word that popped in my head said Luther Vandross.
Because when it comes to a male singer, it don't get better than Luther Vandross. Well, that's for another episode.
Yeah,
Luther Vandross.
Big
is
Luther,
the
little
best.
Luther.
Well, listen. There's no bad Luther.
And that's the question. That's what Sam said. Remember Kings of Comedy?
Yeah.
He was like not little Luther, big Luther.
Little Luther was cool too. You know what I'm saying? Little Luther had some hits. You know what I'm saying? That's a little later on in his career. But Big Luther, I think, is where he made his name. You know, with the little S curl.
What Cedric said, it never quite
curled all the way.
What was your favorite joke? I would say from the Kings of Comedy movie from Cedric.
When he came up with a song.
His set.
With a song. He made a song about making sandwiches.
Oh, the no jam.
With the peanut butter with no jam. That's funny. And the joint where he was flying the rocket ship in space, where he said when niggas get to go to the moon, we gonna be whipping the rocket ship like this.
Like a big cigarette in your hand.
Yo, no, that's funny. That's funny to me. And for a big dude, he can dance a little bit.
He can.
He got rhythm for a big dude.
And he's agile. Like he can do physical comedy and still like keep up. Because some people think like, oh, because you're larger, you can't keep up. He can keep up. Yeah. And my favorite joke, well, probably one of them, because his whole set was fire. But the spaceship one. And the other one, he was talking about how Teddy Pendergrass said you turn lights off, and he snatched an imaginary cord out the wall. Yeah, he said turn them off. He said Cedric said took the cord and it's all imaginary, wrapped it up, took the light bulb out,
flicked the light switch.
He just made you see like the spaceship. He
Give
made
you good visuals,
but he's doing stand up. He's not doing it, and he just. Everything is just on point for Cedric.
Absolutely. So
it's gonna make it hard for me.
So you sitting there with Cedric and DL right now.
I know.
And I'm sitting with DL and Steve right now.
Yeah. Dang, cause this is it. Let me take a sip of lemon water.
Really, drink your McDonald's Sprite.
McDonald's Sprite will kill you.
She be drinking the water that got more lemons than water in it.
I like it. So
You got like 13 lemons in that drink.
DL Hughley is gonna be my next stay. I don't want to get rid of Cedric, but I love DL. And I say DL because I don't know if you all watch his or listen to his podcast. This is a podcast / radio show. I love him for his political views, his views on activism, his views on black issues. And I did watch the Hughley show as a kid. I enjoyed his set on the Original Kings of Comedy, but him as a person and his background, as far as his story when he came up, he told a story about the first time he had an encounter with the police, and the officer, I think he was like 10, 11 years old, him and some friends walking down the street, officer pulled them over, told them to put their hands on the hood. He said the hood burned his hands, and the cop told him, nigga, if you take your hands off that hood, I'm gonna kill you. And they were looking for somebody totally unrelated, but just the way he tells a story, and I would say in the last probably like 2 or 3 years, I've watched him more as far as like even his stand up. He had 2 stand ups in the past like 2 or 3 years, which I really enjoyed, and it's just I can't get rid of him. I've fallen like more in love with DL Hughley as he's gotten older. So
interesting.
DL.
There's gonna be some controversy with this show. Like, you getting rid of Cedric?
If you follow him on Instagram, you'll be like, okay.
Niggas about to be mad.
I'm sorry.
We gonna fight in the parking lot.
I love DL. We gonna fight. We gonna fight next to the car alarm going on.
Next to the nigga that was still in the car outside. I don't know.
He gone. He in the chop shop by now.
That's what we get for shooting in the hood.
Hey, it's a nice place. They're trying.
Just kidding. We're not in the hood. Well, maybe a little.
Not yet.
It's getting there.
How you go backwards? Like,
why
would you go from not being in the
hood?
hood?
We're the opposite of gentrifying. They just bringing more niggas over here.
You're going the wrong way. Just joking.
We don't get no white people. No frozen yogurt. No yoga studios.
No spin cycle class.
No public parks that have no use. You know, once white people move in, they start repurposing all these type of little sections, little empty lots, and just making them little public parks and stuff like that with little statues and stuff on it. Nobody really be going there. Yeah. Just
like, it's so nice to look at. Like, but what does it do?
It's like the equivalent to when women put like 16 pillows on the bed. Like, you know, none of them have. There's about 13 of them pillows that don't really serve no function, but
they
be putting them on it. See, look, right there.
When you make your bed up and you have your decorative pillows, it just makes the bed look just gives it that zeal.
You with these sound effects today is really you taking a lot of breaths. Oh, that was aggressive.
I'm excited about pillows.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to the nails, by the way.
Thanks.
Why don't you show the camera?
I need a refill. Don't look.
All right, all right. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty right here. So this is my last choice here. We're down to Steve Harvey and DL Hughley. And both of them, to me, are in the bottom 2 for a couple different reasons. Number one, because as much as I respect Steve for like what he's done for the comedy game, what he's done for other black comedians, sometimes Steve can kind of, I find him a little annoying sometimes. I feel like he does too much. Sometimes I feel like he can be a little bit, has the most polite way to.
You think he's too animated
Sometimes I feel like he could be a little too gentrified himself. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I feel Steve Harvey has gotten a little bit gentrified.
You feel like he's like whitewashing?
Like, a little bit. You know, I didn't want to use the specific term.
Oh, well, I was
hoping you caught what I was trying to say.
Well, they
without saying the
they
white.
might not have understood.
Whatever.
I'm trying to understand.
You know, I mean, between, you know, the comments he be making on his radio show, and then, you know, he's just gone a little bit Hollywood. Then he came out with the Think Like a Man book, you know what I'm saying? Like,
which was good. And the movies too.
The movie was good.
Yeah.
The book,
I didn't read the book, so I can't give an opinion on that.
We can talk about the book on another episode.
Did you read the book?
I didn't read the whole book, you know, but I got some Cliff Notes and stuff like that. Niggas don't really.
How you gonna glance at the book and say, "Well, I ain't read it, but I saw it"?
Because I know other people that read it. You know what I'm saying? So, but either here or there, you know what I'm saying. Steve just, sometimes and I respect, the Steve Harvey show. I used to watch it, with my grandmother, back in the day and stuff like that. And, it was a good show. But, he's got his cons to him as well as his pros. He was actually real funny doing the intros at Original Kings of Comedy when he was talking about the old school music, when he brought out, like Earth, Wind and Fire and Lenny Williams and all them guys.
Yes.
That was funny.
And everybody in the crowd... again, if you guys have not seen the Original Kings of Comedy, please watch it. I would say 90% of that crowd was probably black, and it was it was like watching a family reunion with your uncles on stage. Absolutely. And everybody's just like when Steve Harvey did those clips with the music, when he did the Lenny Williams one,
yes,
and like you saw all the couples like kissing and like
he felt that song.
And everybody in the crowd, you saw people just like singing their hearts out.
Let me tell y'all, youngest something. You want to hear a real man break down on a record? You want to hear somebody that really missed that chick?
Right.
Listen, Lenny Williams felt that song. That is one of the most heartfelt songs in human history.
It is.
He felt that song.
He left nothing on the table.
He wanted that chick back. Yo, shout out to whoever that chick was that he wrote that song about. If you did not get back with Lenny Williams,
you missed out.
After that fight, or after y'all broke up, whatever, after he came up with that song, you have no heart.
What's the name of the song?
Your coochie probably stink.
So what? That went left. It was I Love You, right?
It was I Love You.
Cause I Love You.
Cause I Love You.
Yeah.
Cause he love you.
The track was like, what, 8 minutes long?
That's 18 minutes long. I don't know.
He was singing.
I think it was more than that.
He wasn't singing, he was singing.
Whew. You will cry. If you go through a breakup and you put that song on, you will cry. I won't cry. But you will cry.
You shed a little thug tear. Just a little.
There's a leak in the ceiling that just happened to hit my face.
What do you think about, so you said Steve Harvey that you feel like he's a little bit too Hollywood.
A little bit.
I don't see him that way though.
I just feel like he's changed. He's not everybody changes, but he's not like the same Steve he used to be. I feel like with Bernie, with Cedric, whatever, you kind of had some consistencies where they just always kind of were the same person. I feel like Steve's kind of...
Well, you have to give him leeway too, because in Hollywood, just like him doing is it Miss America or certain things that you may have used to say or do, Hollywood, which is where he is, you kind of have to kind of toe the line.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's changed. To me, he seems like he's the same person. I don't know him personally, but when I listen to his morning show, he gives his opinion just like he would anything else. I don't feel like he's trying to hold back or appeal to the white audience. I don't feel like it.
Well,
I don't feel like
we'll disagree with that, because right now this is my opinion. You had your segment.
I was just trying to understand why you said that.
No, this for me to understand.
You talk about Uncle Steve. That's my uncle.
That's because y'all the same skin tone. Anyway, and then DL on the other side. I do love DL. I respect what he did, especially. I believe he was the first host of Def Jam, right? Wasn't he the first host? He was either first or second. Him and Martin.
I believe Martin was the first. And then,
one of them.
No, DL was the host of Comic View.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Comic View. That's what I meant.
Comic View was also.
I think he was the first host of Comic View.
Yes, Comic View was on BT, and it used to come on. This is totally well, it's not unrelated, but Comic View is also something. It might be on YouTube. It was how would you put it? Almost like an Apollo for comedy, but I don't feel like anybody really got.
It's really similar to Def Jam, just like a little bit cleaner version. Because Def Jam, you could just go up and say
Def Jam was like what MA
uncensored.
That's why I was on HBO, and BT was broadcast cable, so they couldn't go to. You would get a B word every once in a while, but there was no F bomb dropping. Comedy Jam.
Def Jam was basically the comic version of BT Uncut.
Yeah. That's basically. Except for like some of the cheeks and stuff, yeah. All you needed was like a chick dancing, and it would have been because they would talk about sex, they would talk about like certain activities. You'd be like, what? But it was uncensored. It was uncensored. Mm-hmm. But DL was the first. He was the first host of Comic View, and I think he hosted for over 5 years. It probably was.
I don't remember how long.
A long time.
So I respect everything he's done for the comic game, whatever. I wasn't that big of a fan of the Hughley show. Mm-hmm. I feel like out of the four, he kind of had the weakest TV show of the four of them. It was okay. You know, it had the dude from Living Single. Shout out to Overton Wakefield Jones. You know, it was a decent show. But as far as black TV shows, I feel like it didn't really get a fair shot because black TV shows in the 90s were at an all-time high. I mean, you had, you know, Martin, you had, you know, A Different World, Fresh Prince, Steve Harvey Show, Living Single, Hang with Mr. Cooper, and so the Hughleys was kind of like an
In the House with LL Cool J.
Yeah,
which was late 90s, early 2000s.
Can't.
Oh no, I just got excited about LL Cool J. Sorry.
You need a towel?
No, he's married. Come on now. So
I just feel like the Hughley's was kind of like an afterthought.
I hate you. You know what I'm saying? What you said. I'm gonna sit over here. I don't want to sit by you.
All right, this will just be the good show.
Yeah, you go.
No, but no, and I appreciate what he's done in the Twitter game. You know, I feel like he's of the four, he's been the one to take the biggest advantage of social media. Mm-hmm. You know, he's real big. You know, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. You know, he's got his own TV show now, like a new TV show that you know he is it a TV show or a radio show?
It's a radio show.
Oh, sorry, a radio show.
They do film it, and I watch it on YouTube. But you can listen to it or you can.
He's kind of changed his style up. He's a lot more political these days and stuff like that. But of the two of them, I feel like I gotta keep Steve, just for the fact that he's done more. I think he's just been more versatile in his career. I mean, the guy is literally everywhere. He's like, you know, Steve Harvey's like the Black Ryan Seacrest at this point. He's got like 13 million jobs. He's everywhere. He's got a clothing line. Yes. He's been on TV. He's got radio shows. He's got the Miss America pageant. He's got books out. Mm-hmm. I think he was in like magazines. He was doing New Year's Eve. Like you see this man everywhere. I think for the sheer sake of just numbers, of quantity, of seeing it to this person's face, you got to keep Steve. So unfortunately, I would have to cut out DL.
Oh.
And no shade, but I feel like he had the weakest segment of the four on the original Kings of Comedies movie, like the actual concert movie.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the other three had better jokes.
I could see that in a way.
Yeah. He kind of.
He didn't hit it as much. I mean, going after because Bernie went last, right? Mm-hmm. Or did Cedric go last?
Bernie went last.
Cedric Bernie's set in the original King's Comedy, he killed it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. From front to end.
I would say DL's wasn't. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it wasn't.
I just think he didn't bring his A game that day.
He might not have.
I think he was funnier on Comic View.
But when you're next to those three comedians, it's like, dang, like. You're not gonna outdo Bernie Mac. So you might as well just do your best.
It's real tough.
Yeah.
I would like to see them do a new issue of that. Like maybe, I don't know, like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart.
That would be. Who else would you put in there?
I don't know. If Cat Williams got his act together, you know, maybe if you wanted to be in there.
He's not doing anything bad right now.
You never know. How you put
it on that man? He at home watching TV.
There's a reason why he at home.
He needs some money, Chris.
No. Shout out to Cat. I am a huge Cat Williams fan too.
Me too.
So
that's why I was like, excuse me.
Hey, listen, we're not gonna sit here and act like he perfect though.
We all have our flaws.
Hey, yeah, whatever.
So you would put Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Cat.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just, brainstorming here. It's tough to do. Or you can do, the 85 South show route. Shout out to those guys. If you don't watch the 85 South show,
missing out.
You are missing out.
Awesome
Chico
show.
Bean, DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller. You've probably seen them on Wild Out. They're the funniest dudes out here right now. I aspire to be on their level.
I watch their show almost every day, if not every other day.
Every day.
And they're all they own their own content. I believe all of their staff is black for the most part. They're doing their own touring. They're booking their own shows. Like they have advertising, and they literally built it up from nothing and just kept going and kept hitting. And now they're just selling out everywhere. Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. Those are my choices. Those are Mickey's choices.
Yes.
She has chosen to eliminate Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm sorry, Cedric.
I have chosen to, unfortunately, eliminate DL Hughley.
Oh.
And we gonna probably fight in the parking lot after this. I can already say she ready to fight right now. She loves DL.
I don't want to fight. I do love DL.
But thank you so much for watching. This has been another rendition of the Good and Terrible Show. Yes. You have watched One Gotta Go. We will be doing several more One Gotta Goes.
Tell us if you like this too.
Tell us, what you thought about the episode. If you agree with our choices, if you agree with her choice, if you agree with my choice, tell who your choice would be. You can write it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends about it. Let your mama, daddy, brother, cousin, uncle, sister, everybody watch it. Your neighbor, your dentist, your barber, whoever it is. Just watch the video, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. And again, my name is Travis.
My name is Mickey.
And this is the Good and Terrible Show. Thank you guys for watching.